everybody, AJ from Knights of the Apex here. Today we're going to be talking more stabilizers, specifically Quattro stabilizers, which you guys should frankly come to expect having watched any videos from this channel at this point. So earlier last week, Quattro officially announced the new Vulcan Pro Stabilizers. Now these are going to be carbon stabilizers with machined aluminum end caps and the same weights that come standard with all of the Quattro stabilizer models. For those of you that don't know my relationship to Quattro, they like my content, I like their gear, I know the owner, I consider him a friend at this point. So he sends me some of their new tech and kit to test out, give feedback on, and create content to help educate everybody about. As far as what that means for any potential bias when it comes to these reviews, these things are stabilizers. They're, my criteria for stabilizers are, do they balance the bow, do they mitigate vibration, and do they look cool? So does the fact that I got these for free impact the my review at all? No, I don't believe that it will, but still want to put that all out there for you just so you know. Now I've been running these stabilizers. This is actually a 15-inch front bar and a 12-inch back bar. I've been running them for, I want to say maybe 2-3 months now throughout the whole COVID quarantine, and I did shoot them at Total Archery Challenge in Utah this weekend, and this setup performed just phenomenally. As far as why you would want to run stabilizers like this on a hunting setup, I'm actually not going to answer that. Instead, I will refer you over to a recent video that Levi Morgan did in his Bow Hunter Base Camp series, where he runs or he talks about a very similar setup, and I think he's far more qualified to talk about that subject than I am. For me, running even a back bar is something very new to me and something I just started messing with when I developed a relationship with Quattro. It's something that, I just always in the past thought that it was just too much weight, and I would have never in a million years imagined that I'd be shooting a 15-inch front bar and 12-inch back bar. But having shot as good as I did at Total Archery Challenge this last weekend, I went through the knock-on and Sitka courses, had one miss, didn't lose a single arrow, and I mean, it's hard to argue with how steady this thing held even in the wind, and I was shooting my silverback back tension release, and even still this thing just held phenomenally. I'm going to try and run this setup as much as I can come hunting season, for so long as the situation allows me to. But without further ado, let's get into the actual stabilizers themselves and talk about what makes them different from the ones that Quattro already offers on their website. To start off, they're obviously longer. The 15 and up until now, I believe 12 inches was the longest stabilizer, and I got to stop twirling my bow. That's probably really distracting. But 12 inches was probably the longest stabilizer that Quattro was offering on their website out of their target line. Now, the new Vulcan Pros are going to be longer and skinnier than anything that Quattro has offered in the past. The way Quattro was able to do this while still maintaining the strength and rigidity of these bars is they changed the weave the weave pattern in their carbon to be less horizontal. I don't know how to describe that right, but they changed the weave pattern to allow the bars to be thinner but still maintain that strength that you've come to know from Quattro. As far as the carbon itself, it's still that woven carbon fiber. These bars are still assembled in South Africa. The end cap, which is where Quattro is headquartered, the end caps are still going to be those CNC machined aluminum. They're still using mil-spec epoxy to attach them to the stabilizer bar themselves, and these weights are going to be the same machined weights that you've all come to know and love. So the hardware is a little bit different. The end caps are a bit longer, just to account for the skinnier, longer stabilizer and still keep up that rigidity. But these things performed awesome. Now, the ones that you guys are seeing right now, the ones that I have are actually pre-production models. The difference between these and the ones that you guys are able to purchase on Quattro's website right now is going to be the finishes. Now, the Quattro introduced a new finish on the stabilizer rods themselves. It's going to be a flat finish as opposed to the more shiny gloss finish on the carbon that they have right now. The end caps are actually going to be Cerakoted moving forward. If you're not familiar with Cerakote, it's a very common finish found on a lot of military firearms and other pieces of gear. It's just very durable. It's very flat. It doesn't produce a lot of shine, and you can have colors to it. So Quattro sent me some of the photos, and if you look on their website right now, you'll see some of the photos. They look very, very sharp. And these new finishes are also going to be available on all of the Vulcan and I believe some of the Dentro models moving forward. So if you're looking to pick up any of Quattro stabilizers, you're going to see the new finishes available. Now, I took this through the Total Archery Challenge course, and I was banging these things and dropping my bow on rocks, bushwhacking through sticks and whatnot, and other than a few scratches and some cosmetic issues, these things held up absolutely phenomenally. I didn't find myself tightening down any piece of hardware or having end caps come loose or weights start to rattle or anything like that, and that has been the biggest complaint I've had with other quote-unquote high-end stabilizers in the past, is I felt like I had to continually babysit them, tighten them down, check on the hardware, end caps that would come loose, epoxy that wouldn't stick. It was just very, very frustrating. It was one more thing to worry about when I'm walking around the woods. So props to Quattro's. I mean, their quality of work has just been phenomenal in all of the products that I've gotten from them, and I can't say enough about that. As far as performance, I already spoke about it. These things, they just help hold the bow like a freaking brick wall. I'm running the same Vero back bar mount. The new Vero back bar mounts are actually also going to be Cerakoted as well, so something cool to also look forward to as well if you don't already have one of those. As far as price goes, these things are going to start out around $75 US, and then when you factor in shipping, that's probably going to run you, depending on where you are in the States, maybe another $20. So around $100 for these stabilizers, which when you factor in the quality of these things is a really fair price for them. Unique look, unique hardware, unique size and function. I'm just a really big fan of them. Like I said, when it comes to stabilizers, right, I'm not judging them too harshly. These things, they just look cool, they perform phenomenal. I don't need to babysit them. That's more than I can ask for, and I appreciate knowing where these are made, knowing the owners, and having talked to a lot of you all through social media that have purchased other products from Quattro, and a couple of you that were actually running these pre-production rods as well. Everybody has come back to me and said, the owner, Hano, and all the people over at Quattro are just phenomenal. You can bounce ideas off of them, you can work with them, and they even have options for custom products, which is something just really cool. It's good to have these guys in the industry, and it's been really cool to get to interact with some guys across the pond in South Africa. You guys are badass hunters over there. So if you're in the market for new stabilizers, definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out maybe a different setup than what you're typically used to running. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed, well, like the video anyway, but if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the Knights of the Apex YouTube channel. Thank you to all of you. We've just surpassed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So for you guys, new and old, thank you. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you all soon.